told me she was up to something. He started sneaking around, lying, etc. Whenever I asked about her and something was going on, he would assume that there was nothing to worry about. He even called her an ugly, annoying, obsessive, and a stupid bitch. He breaks up with me suddenly, and no warning less than 3 days later he's dating this girl I told her not to worry about. I got her number and sent her the screenshots of the text messages of him talking shit about her. They broke up. I win. A couple months ago, I was on a 7-hour bus ride when I was seated by a woman from hell. When I boarded the bus, I was told that it wasn't fully booked, so I assumed it would be alright if I left my backpack and personal items in the seat beside me, so no one would sit with me. I wouldn't normally do this, but I am someone who gets extremely motion sick. No amounts of meds or other remedies seemed to help, and since this bus ride was going through the mountains, I thought that I'd save someone the trouble of sitting next to a puking, feverish girl. Anyway, I rode like this for about an hour and a half. The bus was empty, so I didn't think it mattered. Then out of nowhere, a woman across from me starts looking back at me and sending death glares over and over. At this point, we are slowly moving into the foothills of the mountains, so I ignore her, trying to focus on relaxing and not letting the nausea overwhelm me. After about 20 minutes, she comes over and says, "Excuse me, I'm going to sit here," pointing to the seat next to me. I give her a look of frustration, but being the non-confrontational person that I am, I moved myself off the seat and allowed her to sit there, despite the 30 empty seats around us. Intentionally, I scatter myself on the floor, just enough so her feet don't have quite as much room as they should, hoping this would persuade her to leave. Nope. She begins kicking my things, hard. I ask her, very politely, not to kick my things. She looks at me with mortal outrage. "Little girl, you don't own this bus. Give me my fucking space, I'm 60-year-old. You little Indian bitches seem to think you own this fucking country." So, the realization sets in that this woman is a racist bitch who intentionally sat with me to bitch me out. I am really a Canadian citizen, born and raised here. However, I am brown because my mother is a Filipina. Anyway, I tell her there's no need to be so hostile, and she begins to snort rude remarks back to me. I put on my headphone and blast the loudest radio songs I can find, just to bug her. At this point, the anger is boiling up inside of me, and the nausea are beginning to get to me, so I decide it's best to ignore her. But she won't let that happen. She begins elbowing me hard, then kicking my leg. I finally get in and take off my headphones. She demands that I turn down my music. I demand she leaves me alone. Suddenly, from the other corner of my eye, I see her opening her water bottle and pouring it all over my backpack and personal belongings. I push it out of her hand, at which point she begins screaming obscenities at me, telling me that I'm abusing a poor elderly woman with back problems, and I'm taking up too much space, and that I'm part of the Indian problem that is destroying our respectable nation. At this point, the anxiety in the mountainous bus ride is just much for me to bear. As she screams at me, I realize I need to throw up, and although I could interrupt her to quickly run to the bathroom, I decided it was okay if I just let her go in her lap. I am terribly sick, so I end up vomiting almost an entire sandwich onto her. She stops for a moment out of shock, then begins to hit me as hard as she fucking can. I am a tiny little half-Asian girl who weighs less than 95 pounds, and she's huge. People around who have been hearing this bullshit finally, at this point, call for the bus driver, who pulls the bus over in the town we are passing through. Almost a sneeze. The woman demands I be removed from the bus for elderly abuse. Bless you! I pass my sneeze on to you. The other passengers back me up and defend me after witnessing the insanity. The police are called, so the woman is escorted off the bus, literally kicking and screaming about how Indians should be banned for public transit. Last I see of her, she is being held by the police on the side of the road, covered in vomit. As much as you believe you shouldn't vomit on people on purpose, I must admit that my motion sickness has never felt so good before. Also, I ended up getting a coupon for a free ticket with the bus company as an apology for what happened. It's only an added bonus. You'll love this one. Okay. This started on Thanksgiving this year.
Oh.
I am from Scotland and have been living in the US since Christmas Day, 2003. In 2001, I met my wife when she was working in London. She is from Houston, Texas, and was sent over to work for the London office of her company. We got married in 2012, and due to the company we worked for closing down, we moved back to Austin, Texas, where she was living for 20 years before London. With her being from Texas, you can imagine that a lot of her family are extremely conservative. Which, frankly, I don't care if you are not. However, it doesn't matter if you were conservative, liberal, socialist. If you are a cunt, then go fuck yourself. We're sitting in the living room watching TV after an amazing Thanksgiving dinner. Someone mentioned the whole new open carry law starting this year in Texas. Being from Scotland, where guns are a no-no, they asked me, "What do you think of that law, Uber hacker?" Being from a place with no guns. It's kind of foreign to me. I'm not sure how I would react to seeing a holstered gun in plain view. Honestly, I would feel that's uncomfortable and unsafe, but that's just my upbringing, which I think is fair to see. Which I think is fair enough to say. My wife's aunt turns to me and comes out with, "Well, that's because you're from a socialist country. You also have a queen that rules you people. You are not citizens, you are a subject. If you were allowed guns, then you'd be a citizen." She then proceeds to tell me that Syrian refugees are coming over. It's bad, and she needs to protect herself from them. Fast forward an hour, and she is pretty drunk. We are about to head home. I thank everyone for the great meal, and she turns and says, "Too bad you are not going back to your own country." I don't say anything at all. I did not want to stoop to that level. Then, since then, she has apologized. Via text. I reply saying, "No problem. Don't worry about it." So, we go to Houston for Christmas. She is there. We exchange gifts. I hand her an envelope. She opens it as I expected. She loses her fucking mind, throws the piece of paper on the ground, and storms out. My mother-in-law picks up the paper and reads, "A donation of $250 has been made to the UNICEF USA for the Syrian child refugees by Uber Hacker on behalf of Aunt's name." I just say that I thought, judging by the pro-life sticker on your car, she would appreciate that. My bad. Sit down to swig my whiskey. Rest of the evening was awkward. What a ball bag she is. Emily, are you asleep? She's asleep.
Yeah, I think you're asleep.
It's still recording.